Donald Trump's narrow victory over Hillary Clinton in Michigan is now effectively sealed, with a federal judge ruling that Green Party candidate Jill Stein has no legal standing to request a recount. That leaves just the recount in Wisconsin, which so far has actually increased Trump's margin of victory, and a possible recount in Pennsylvania. Trump heads to Ohio State University today to undertake a grim presidential task, meeting with some of the victims of a brutal attack by a Muslim OSU student last week. The student hit people with a car, then stabbed 13 other students before police shot him. After Ohio, Trump will visit Iowa and will go later to Louisiana and Michigan, all as part of his thank you tour. Many will be listening for any possible mentions of immigration. Despite his tough campaign rhetoric, Trump took a softer stance during an interview with Time magazine, which named him Person of the Year. Trump spoke warmly of young immigrants facing deportation and said, "We're going to work something out that's going to make people happy and proud." On Wednesday, Chicago's mayor pressed Trump to preserve the so-called DACA program, which allows young immigrants to obtain work permits.
They're trying to achieve the American dream. No fault of their own, their parents came here. They are something we should hold up and embrace.
Trump is also still working to solidify his cabinet, and he says that next week he'll name his Secretary of State. He also says that Mitt Romney still has a chance. Cabinet picks revealed this week include retired Marine General John Kelly to head up Homeland Security, and Linda McMahon, the former CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment, to head the Small Business Administration.
I believe we're in the process of putting together one of the all-time great cabinets that has ever been assembled in our nation's history.
But Trump's choice for the Environmental Protection Agency is already proving contentious with Democrats. Oklahoma Attorney General Scott Pruitt will lead the agency that he has severely criticized for years for its abuses of power. And he's led a so far successful legal battle against it. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi is promising to block the nomination, and Bernie Sanders called Pruitt dangerous.
Attorney General Pruitt has great qualifications and a good record as the AG of Oklahoma.
Many believe that Senate Democrats will try to block or at least slow down some of Trump's nominees. They could also hamper his efforts to reform immigration and cut taxes. And some on the left are promising to do everything they can to defend Obamacare. So while the president-elect clearly intends to get off to a fast start, he could face some stiff opposition during his early days in office. Heather Sells, CBN News.
Thanks, Heather. With us now from Capitol Hill is Tennessee Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn. She's the vice chair of the Trump transition team. And Congresswoman, we thank you for being with us. It's a pleasure.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
What are you all talking about transition? Was there a theme? The president-elect has put together an extraordinary cabinet. What was the theme? Did you all have a theme on it?
Really, it comes from what transpired in the campaign. Make America safe again. Make America one again. Make America great again. And the American people have so adopted that phrase, and they want to do everything they can to preserve the American dream. They want us to get back to focusing on what I call the big five: faith, family, freedom, hope, and opportunity. And they're rolling up their sleeves and saying, okay, Mr. Trump, we're going to be right alongside you on this. And they're doing a wonderful job. The website, greatagain.gov, which receives the resumes from people that would like to work with the administration. They've had over 70,000 resumes received, and the website has had over 1.5 million hits on that website.
Well, let me ask you, it is so unusual. He's got generals, really tough fighting men. He's got Linda McMahon, the wife of the head of the WWE Wrestling Foundation. And you know, he's got people who are Sikhs. He's got African Americans. He's got an incredible blend of people on this potential cabinet.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're right. There is a tremendous amount of diversity, thought, ideas, race, gender, and so he is surrounding himself with people that come from different backgrounds, different experiences. But here's an important thing. They're going to bring that private sector and not-for-profit sector experience to bear on the public sector. And that is so important. You know, leadership skills are a transferable commodity, and skills that you develop in one area of life, you can apply those to another. And so the public sector is going to benefit from having this diversity of experience and background be brought to bear on the public sector in reshaping our federal government. A very exciting time. As we for years talked about, what we needed was the devolution of money and power back to the state and local level, and now we're actually going to have the opportunity to do that.
You remember the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi says, quote, "I'm going to block the nominees." But the House really doesn't have any vote on that.
Yeah. No, they don't. And the last time I checked, Nancy Pelosi is not a member of the Senate.
Well,
she's a member of the House.
That's what I don't understand. Well, what is the strategy of the Democrats or of the left to block these nominees? I don't know how they're going to do it. Do you?
They're going to have a very difficult time. You can approve these nominees with 51 votes in the Senate, and I have to tell you, I think that's exactly what they're going to do. And people are saying, oh, it's going to be rough and tumble and very difficult for the nominees. I think the Democrats will talk, they'll bluster, they're going to push back, but at the end of the day, you're going to see them go through with the 51 votes that are necessary for approval. My hope is that they do these very quickly.
Well, it would be that the plan of the Trump team, I hate to use the term jam, but jam them through. I mean, you can have all kinds of delaying tactics if somebody wants to use them, and then a good chairman can override that. Is that the plan? I mean, you override these specious objections?
I think Senator McConnell is going to have a pretty good plan for how he's going to get these through and get those cabinet secretaries to their desk so that they can begin the heavy lift of reshaping the federal government, right-sizing it, reducing the scope, the size, and the cost of the federal government. It's what the American people voted for. It's what they want to see happen.
Well, the EPA has been out of control, and now there's somebody from Oklahoma who's a hard-nosed guy. Do you think he's going to be able to rein in the EPA?
Yes, and actually, Senator Burr and I've had legislation in years past. I called it the CHOP Act, and it would call for the EPA to be moved back inside the Department of Energy. And that's something that needs to happen. You know, when we had the government shutdown, remember the EPA said 93% of their employees are non-essential. I said, great, let's eliminate 93% of their positions. So I think that we're ready to see that happen.
All right, the media has been very harsh on Trump during the campaign, and now the attacks on these potential wonderful people, too many generals, too many billionaires, too many this, a distinguished surgeon isn't qualified to handle HUD. It goes on and on and on. What is the team's strategy for dealing with these media attacks?
I just, there's a great little song out right now by Taylor Swift. It's called Shake It Off. So I just tell them all they need to go shake it off, or as my mother would say, get over yourself. And this is what they need to do. They liked to tell us in 2008 that elections have consequences, and indeed they do. And it is going to change the way we move forward as a nation. The American people voted for change. The change they want to see is less government and more liberty. And that is what they're going to get from a Donald J. Trump administration.
Well, we all say a hearty amen to this. Well, we wish you the very best, Congresswoman. Thank you so much for being with us.
So good to be with you. Thank you. Have a great day and Merry Christmas.
And to you.